Hey there, welcome and thanks for joining me. If you guys enjoyed this tutorial, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up and share with friends and family. It'll help my channel grow. And if this is your first time here, welcome, and I hope you consider subscribing. And don't forget to click on that bell button so you can be notified every time I upload a new video. So for today's tutorial, you're going to need one of these square mirrors and a round one. Now I got one of these larger round mirrors, but you can use the candle mirrors that are smaller. They're usually round or square ones, and you can even use a square one if you like. Basically, it's up to you. But again, I used one of these larger round ones, and remove it from the frame and remove the square one from the frame as well. Go ahead and get your charger and make sure it's nice and clean, and then go ahead and use some E6000 or Fix-All glue and a little bit of hot glue to add your round mirror to the center of your charger. Something I didn't show on my video, I added a wire to the back of my charger so I can hang it. So I can have that option of hanging it. And you just add it with some E6000 and then let it dry, and then go ahead and add a little bit of hot glue to the top of your wiring and allow that to dry. And there you have it. It'll be, really good for you to go ahead and hang it, and you don't have to worry about it. So place your mirror, your large square mirror, inside a towel, and then just bang it a few times with a hammer, or like I did with the rock. And there you have your broken pieces of mirror. What I used was this liquid nails to add my mirrors to my charger, but you can easily use E6000 if you'd like. So I didn't have a pattern. Obviously, you can make a pattern if you like. I basically just added my pieces of mirror in random places, just wherever I felt I wanted it to be at, depending on the size and where it fits. So I just, randomly placed my mirrors. I know you can make different designs, and maybe I'll make one like that. But for this one, I just added it wherever I fit. I know it fit, and I thought it would look pretty. And I like to use a lot of my pieces, a lot of the mirror pieces. But again, that's optional depending on how much mosaic mirror style you want to have on your saucer. So just go ahead and add as much as you like. And here I'm adding some of the little pieces just to fill it in between the larger pieces of mirror. And I actually used almost the entire square mirror for this one charger. So again, depending on how you want yours, or what style you want it to have, is how many pieces of broken mirror you're going to add to your charger. So that's completely up to you to add as much as you like. So once you're happy with the style and happy with the amount of mirrors that you've placed onto your charger, go ahead and allow that to dry for at least a good hour before you go on to your next step. If you can, longer, but I would recommend at least an hour. So you go ahead and set it aside, and then you're going to get some of this spackling from Dollar Tree. Now the one I had was a little dry, so it's not going to be as hard as it was for me to do this. But since it was a little drier, what I did was just went ahead and started using my fingers to work it in between my broken pieces of mirror to fill it in. But again, mine was already opened and it was a little dry, so it typically wouldn't be this hard for you guys to do it. But if you do decide to use your fingers like I am, I would recommend you using some gloves. I couldn't find any gloves, so I just went ahead and used my fingers as so. But again, I would recommend you using some gloves. And yes, you can get grout. And if you have any, feel free to use grout. I just wanted to try to make this as budget friendly as possible, and I wanted to see if this spackling would work on, you know, making some mosaics. So I went ahead and decided to use it. But of course, yes, you can use grout if you like. But you just go ahead, if you use a spackling, go ahead and just play with it, rub it in, and make sure it, you know, you have every space filled in between all the mirrors. And what I did was, once I felt happy and I kind of felt it all a little bit even, I went in and I grabbed my little, I want to call it spatula for the actual spackling, and I just kind of rubbed it on top of the mirrors just to remove any of the excess, and then just continue adding it on to the other pieces of my mirror. And this is how I did that. I just kind of rubbed it down, and whatever was left, I just placed it on the side where there wasn't any, and just continued adding it in between my mirrors. One thing I didn't show you on this video is I did actually add a wire hanging in order for me to hang this charger up on my wall. So if you want to do that, go ahead and just add some E6000 and a piece of wiring to the back of your plate, and then allow it to dry, and it's good to go. So I didn't show that, I'm sorry, but just go ahead and do that if you want to hang it as hang it also. So just go ahead and continue working your spackling in between all the mirror pieces. And if you don't want to use the mosaic mirror style, and you want to add, say, some of the glass marbles that they have, or glass stones that they have at Dollar Tree, that would look really pretty. If you want to use them different colors, or for a certain holiday and you want to use a certain color, that would look really pretty too. Or like some broken teacups, or anything basically that's broken and you want to use it for a charger as a mosaic. As a mosaic piece would look really pretty. It doesn't necessarily always have to be mirrors. So just go ahead and work with it until you're happy, until you feel all the pieces in between your mirror are filled in. And once you're happy with everything, go ahead and rub your spackling spatula around one more extra time, just to make sure you have it as leveled as possible. And also make sure all the edges have spackling, just so it can be, again, all leveled. And once I was happy and I did all the steps, I went ahead and grabbed a damp towel, and then I started just wiping down the plate, just to kind of open up and see the mirrors, so it won't be that hard for me to clean it up once it's completely dry. Just make sure your towel isn't that wet, just a little damp. And this also helps with the smoothing of the spackling, so it evens it all out. So this is a great step for you to not forget in order for it to look more even. And then once you're happy with this step, go ahead and then allow it to dry again for at least a good 2 to 3 hours. I would recommend, I allowed mine to basically dry with the fan in front of the window for at least 5 hours, I believe is how long I left mine. So once you're done and you feel that it's completely dry, go ahead and get a piece of sandpaper, or what I'm using is just a used sandpaper block that you can also get at Dollar Tree, and just lightly sand it down again, just to make it even, and so you can start seeing all your mirror pieces. And you'll be able to feel the mirrors. If there's some that you can't see, you'll know where to actually rub it down and make them come up. just like that. And just go ahead and rub it with your sand block or sandpaper. Again, lightly, don't do it too hard. And then once you're happy with that step, just go ahead and get, again, a wet towel, a damp towel, and then just start cleaning it up. Let me know in the comments down below what you're going to use. Are you going to use mirror, or are you going to use maybe the glass marbles or some teacups? Getting the damp towel, just go ahead and wipe it down. And then you can get your Windex or Windex wipes and wipe down each piece of the mirror. And if you'd like to do it that way, and there you have it, your mosaic charger plate. What do you guys think? I actually love mine, and I'm thinking of making 8 of them to use on my table for my table settings. But my initial idea for this was to actually just add it for the center of my coffee table with some candles. And then if I didn't feel like using it there anymore, I would just hang it in my bathroom somewhere. But I like it so much, I'm thinking of actually making enough for my table. So this is how it looks hanging. And here's how it looks on a coffee table with some candles. I hope you guys enjoy this tutorial. Until next time, you guys stay blessed. Bye.